Embrace the detours, why life's wrong turns are sometimes the right ones. Have you ever had a plan, a clear vision, a goal you could almost taste? You mapped the road in your mind, step by step, day by day. Everything was supposed to go a certain way. And then life happened. The door slammed shut. The person left. The job disappeared. The dream collapsed. It felt like failure. It felt like betrayal. It felt wrong. But what if it wasn't? What if that detour was never a mistake, but a divine redirection? We're told to pursue straight lines, clear ladders, perfect timelines, like there's only one route to success, one definition of happiness, one shape to fulfillment. But real life, it rarely travels in straight lines. It bends, it twists, it breaks, and it leads us through places we swore we'd never go, only to arrive at destinations we didn't know we needed. You see, the detours are the real journey, the breakdowns, there where the breakthroughs begin, the endings. They make space for beginnings you never dared to imagine. Think back to the job you didn't get, to the person who walked away, to the plan that fell apart. Now ask yourself, did it teach you? Did it change you? Did it open something inside you that would have stayed asleep otherwise? Because the truth is, the most important parts of you, the resilience, the empathy, the strength, the humility, they weren't born in the wins. They were forged in the setbacks. We live in a culture obsessed with control, milestones, metrics, certainty, but growth rarely thrives in certainty. It thrives in the wild, in the places where you're lost, where nothing makes sense, where you're forced to ask the big questions. Who am I now? What do I believe in? What really matters? Here's the hard truth. You won't always understand the detour while you're walking it. Sometimes, the pain speaks louder than the purpose. Sometimes, all you can do is survive one more day. But later, months or years down the line, you'll look back and whisper to yourself, now I get it. There's something sacred in the detour, something deeply human. It strips away the illusion that we're in control. It humbles us, it softens us, it invites us to surrender. And in that surrender we often find exactly what we were chasing, not in the form we expected, but in the form we needed. Think about the detours that shaped the greatest people. The writer whose first book was rejected 27 times. The artist who painted in silence for a decade before being discovered. The single mother who worked nights while studying, with no guarantees. They didn't walk a straight line. They stumbled. They detoured. They fell in love with the wrong person. They lost everything, and yet they rose. Not in spite of the detours, but because of them. Sometimes, the detour gives you a story, a scar, a song, a kind of wisdom you couldn't buy with success, a kind of depth you can't learn from comfort. It gives you a soul, and that is what the world is starving for. So if you're in the middle of a detour right now, if your plans are in pieces, if you're doubting your path, breathe. You're not lost, you're not late, you're just becoming someone who can handle more than you thought, becoming someone with compassion, becoming someone who understands the pain of others, because you've been there, and most of all, becoming someone who knows that the journey isn't about avoiding detours, but embracing them, because here's the truth, life isn't a destination, it's a dance, a wilderness, a beautiful, messy, heartbreaking, soul-shaping ride. And every detour, every wrong turn, every heartbreak is part of that dance. So stop waiting for the road to straighten out. Stop waiting for life to go back to the plan. Live the detour. Own it. Write about it. Sing through it. Love in it. Grow from it. Someday someone will look at your story and find strength in the way you kept walking, even when the path disappeared. And that is legacy. Sometimes the biggest detours in life arrive not as choices but as interruptions. A breakup, a lost job, a diagnosis, a sudden shift in direction that feels unfair, unwelcome, even cruel. And yet, what if these aren't roadblocks but redirections? What if the life you were building wasn't meant to be the one you lived? What if the universe, or fate, or just the unseen logic of time, saw that path and whispered, not this way? There's something better. We fight detours because we think we know best. We grip plans tightly. We draw on maps and ink, not pencil. But life doesn't care about your perfect itinerary. It's more interested in shaping you than pleasing you, because every detour reshapes you. It humbles you. It forces you to adapt, to rethink, to slow down or speed up. It exposes the parts of you that need healing. It introduces you to people you never would have met, places you never would have gone, strengths you never would have discovered. The relationship that broke your heart, it may have freed you for the love you were truly meant to experience. The career you thought to find, you losing it might have redefined your soul. Detours are uncomfortable, they're uncertain, but growth doesn't happen in comfort. Uncertainty rarely leads to greatness. Sometimes, it takes losing your way to find yourself. What if you started seeing detours as invitations? Invitations to deepen, to soften, to awaken. Invitations to question what you thought you wanted. To let go of who you thought you were. To grow into something bolder, truer, more alive. There's something sacred about the roads less traveled. They teach you to trust the unknown. They teach you to walk forward without all the answers. And most importantly, they teach you to listen to your own voice. Even when the world gets loud, you begin to understand that pain isn't punishment, it's preparation. That delays aren't denials. They're divine timing. Life doesn't always give you what you want, but it will always give you what you need to become who you're meant to be. Don't be afraid to start again. Sometimes, the second attempt is where the magic lives. Don't mourn the old road so long that you miss the beauty of the new one. Sometimes, what feels like an ending is really just a better beginning in disguise. You were never meant to take the easy road. You were meant to take the road that would shape your soul. And sometimes, that road is the detour. You don't have to pretend to be okay. You don't have to have it all figured out. Just take the next step. Breathe, trust. The journey doesn't need to make sense today. It just needs your presence, your courage, your willingness. You're not lost, you're not behind. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. The detour is the destination. So if you're standing at a crossroads, if you're staring at a life you didn't plan, if the path ahead looks different than the one you imagined, breathe. You're not off track. You're being rooted. And maybe, just maybe, where you're headed is far more beautiful than anything you left behind. If this message touched something in you, share it with someone who needs it. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's walk this journey together.